hop, man, that really pissed them off because they took rock and roll to its nastiest point. They shit it out. They ate. White people took rock and roll, ate it raw, and shit it out cooked. Do you understand what I'm saying, man? Like, they devoured that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? To mold it how they wanted to mold it. Dog, look at the groups that came out. Kiss. Ozzy eating bats and shit. Then they said, oh, we going pop. They try to feminize us. And you know what? Real talk, Michael Jackson, I love him to death. But rock with you, yeah, man. He was their little pinup boy. It started then. I wanna rock with you. Now you can listen to all types of Jackson 5 music that you want to. He can sing anyway. I wanna rock with you. He sung high pitched the whole motherfucking song. I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch for you all night. And I don't mean no disrespect to him. But think about it, man. That chain of evolution. I will give him something for the human code of divinity, though. You know, like we have Elvis impersonators. You know, really, if you see a black Elvis impersonator, you're going to be like, nigga, I'm going somewhere. But with Michael fucking Jackson, you can have a black impersonator and a white impersonator, and you can't say shit. So I give Michael Jackson that credit for that. Other than that, shit, they try to feminize us, man. Hit us with that crack, them, you know, with pop music. Because if you think hip hop never came out, the 80s would have consisted of Paula Abdul's, Michael Jackson's, Madonna's. What would the music been in the 90s? See, and then we knew that they was trying to do something to rock and roll. So we motherfuckers sung about it. Rhythm and blues. And yeah, I know even the last rhythm and blues song you just heard, even Lil Wayne, she's on fire. We talking about rock and roll, man. We're really talking about rock and roll. Oh, my girl, man, she left me. Why did I treat her that way? I just wanna call up rock and roll and tell her to come back and stay with me. We're talking rock and roll, man. That's what Richard Pryor, that's what Little Richard meant in his little scene in Why Do Fools Fall in Love that take place in the 80s. I'm staying in the 80s with you, baby. Can I stay in the 80s with you? Like, damn, nigga, we had a couple sports icons. I meant early Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was a beast in college. And he stayed for 3 years. And yeah, Mike Tyson on the rise. And he had WWE on the rise. So they had the entertainment. They had the drugs. And they was doing what the fuck they want to, because when Ronald Reagan was the motherfucking president, I kid you not, do they not say this in New Jack City? It's a recession. You got to starve or rob in the Reagan era. You know what I'm saying? They say that in New Jack City in the fucking early 90s, cuz, and then Lil Jeezy sounded like a fucking prophet. No, actually Carter before Reagan was in a recession president, because that was after Johnson and them and Ford and Buchanan, whoever the fuck, you know, they was pretty much warmongers. They pretty much, okay, John F. Kennedy got assassinated, Vietnam War started, Lyndon Johnson does it for a year, then gets an extra 4 years, so he really was fucking the president for 6 years. Then you got Buchanan and then Ford and Nixon just showed you their power. He was so paranoid He was a mob boss. He was a mob boss. He sent people over to a Democratic building. See, I'm just saving you the time so you don't have to watch a 2-hour, 3-hour fucking boring ass movie. He fucking sent a couple motherfuckers over to a Democrat. He's a Republican. A Democratic motherfucking building to change some folders around. Let's say they changed their minds or something like that. This nigga, all the recordings in the White House, everything's taped. If you take a shit, fart, it's recorded. Everything's recorded. Conversation recorded. Then he admits it on that little Frost Nixon interview, I think on purpose. And then he on the White House lawn, like he doesn't touch civilian streets. Like, this nigga ain't gonna drive away from the White House. Do y'all see what I'm saying, cuz? And when I know why Paul Mooney, I don't know why Paul Mooney ain't said this, but Paul Mooney don't say this. It's not really race. You know, really, it ain't been about race since 1960. Whenever the fuck they signed, me and Billy can go to school together, because they basically had 60 years to form the money system, and then they also had 60 years to form a take the money system away from you, and then they had another 60 years. Okay, well, shit, whoever wants to blend in, nigger lovers, or that's just a little excuse. They use race as a shield. They used it, and the thing is, it's just like a bully who knows the teacher won't turn him in. So what you gonna do? I'm talking about the police and shit. If you know the sheriff ain't gonna turn you in for kicking his ass because he's not your color, so therefore you're not hurting him, you're gonna do it. And hey, you know, some white people got carried away. But think about it, like me, and I'll be the first to admit this. Everybody was 6 and 7 years old, and we admit to this day there's people that don't grow out of that mentality. They're still big ass kids. They're playful. They try to be sneaky. They'll steal. They'll do little kid shit in their 20s. Okay. So just because we know people like that in the 2010s don't mean there weren't people like that in the 30s, 20s, 40s, and 50s and 60s. Kid ass motherfucking bully motherfuckers. That's what happened. The sheriff and them was like, we won't arrest you as long as you hit those people, those niggers, those black people, or those Mexicans, or those Jews. As long as you don't touch your white people or your pretty white girls, you good. Of course you gonna do that shit, man. If it was the other way around, black people would have did that shit, and we be talking about how white people was mistreated. I mean, I be thinking about that shit all the time. If it was reversed, it'd be too dominant. It'd be over. Which it is really worldwide that way. But American black men, we're different. Like, look at Mutombo and look at Shaq. Look at an African nigga and then look at us. It's two different black people. You know what I'm saying? We actually are born. African motherfuckers crawl out they mamas. Oh, what is out here for me? I see, you got the camera. Don't flash me. Fucking African black motherfucker, nobody wanna take your black ass picture, motherfucker. 9/11, whatever your thoughts is, I know I'm 20 minutes in deep, but I thought if I'm telling the damn truth, that's all that would matter. You know what I'm saying? Because in the 90s, you know what I'm saying, Oklahoma bombings, we had hip hop flourishing. But then again, when rap got too powerful, Tupac sold 9 million in a month. Tupac, when he came out of jail, the double disc album, All Eyes on Me, sold 9 million records in a month. They hated that. And Biggie's sold 2 million in a month. That's 11 million. And guess what else? They both were on independent record labels. Death Row Records and Bad Boy Records. So that pretty much meant anything they touched from now on, they didn't want that. They said, them ain't the two type of niggas we want to do this. Pow, pow. The type of niggas they want you to do this, I'll tell you what, sometimes I think they're puppets and then they pull me back and I look at them and I hope they ain't puppets, because then I see a sense of realism in them, and I would love to eventually meet these people, but Wiz Khalifa and Big Sean. And I am saying Lil Wayne, the way when he was starting to get his buzz, that's how they want you to be. Like the heavyweight champion of wrestling. Like, you're the guy, so do this. Like 50 Cent, when he came out, it was, I'm starting beefs with Ja. Like, he had beefs with everybody. When Lil Wayne, he's on songs with everybody. He's even on songs that ain't even good. He's on songs that are okay. They're on songs that is great, and then they fall off because of him. And I'm gonna say a song that really, Bow Chicka Wow Wow. Man, you fuck dude's song up, cuz. And really, Let It Rock.